What is up, YouTube? All right, so today I'm going to show you how to plant a mango from fruit. You get the seed out and just basically grow it from seed. So usually when you're cutting a mango, you can do it however you want. I mean, your main goal is to get the seed out, but I try to cut it from the top, and then your knife will run into the seed, and then you try to follow the seed down from there. You don't need to make it all complicated. You do that on both sides. All right, so now we have those two pieces. And then now you go down the sides of the seed. Now you can start from the middle here. There's no like real reference point. So I'm running into the seed. Okay, there you go. You don't have to really be careful with this besides try not to cut yourself, because the seed has a protective layer on it. I'll show you that protective layer when we get to it. From here on, to make it easier, I mean, you can just like take all these little pieces off just to get down to the seed. And then obviously if you're gonna eat it, you can do that too. My whole goal of the video is just to show you how to get the seed out, but usually it's on the thicker side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scrape it with the knife. You gotta be careful because it's slippery. Just to scrape all of this off. And you don't have to get it all off. I'm just showing you what you can do to make it easier for yourself. That's my baby in the background. All right. Okay, now that I got that off, you got to determine which side will open up. Now, if I stick my finger now on this side, then I can feel that there's a gap there. If you have fingernails, you can stick your fingernails in there and see if you can spread it apart, if you're strong enough to do that. If not, you can take the knife, get it in there, and careful not to cut yourself to make a slit. And the bigger slit that you make, well, the easier it'll be to open. So you stick your fingers in there and you pull it apart. And there is your seed. Now, a lot of people take this outer shell off because this is actually a material that will cause fungus or mold. So to do that, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's tougher. But you know, if you actually put this in water like I'm gonna do, the shell will dry out, and then, or it'll absorb water and then be easier to take off later. So you can get the process started and not have to worry about mold. But if you're gonna take it off beforehand, this is how you do it. You just sit here and peel it. Now this right here is actually what's gonna be the root. This will grow out and it'll root and go whichever way that it'll know which way to go. But and then after that, I think the plant will come out this side, either this side or this side, and then it'll go up no matter what. Now let me get my couple. Okay, so now that you got your seed out and you've determined which end is supposed to go into the water, you're gonna use 3 toothpicks. I say 3 because it's easier to put 3 in and make sure that the mango seed doesn't fall into the water. You're gonna take 3 toothpicks and stick them in the seed, just so they're in there firmly. Okay, those are in there. Then this back one you can just angle out. Now with these, I actually want to angle them upwards a little bit so I can have this side of the seed going down into the water. Just like that. And if you don't know which end goes in, like it's pretty easy to determine. It's usually, you can usually see a little, like, I don't know, something that would develop into a root. And sometimes it's more developed than this, and sometimes it's less, but it's pretty obvious. Let's see if I can show you on this seed. Yeah, see how it looks like something will grow out. Sorry, it looks like something would grow out from right here, and on the top of it, it's not so obvious. So you want to make sure that this side is in the water, and it doesn't have to be as deep as I have this one. It's just I'm being lazy about it, but you can just stick the tip. Make sure this is always underwater. This one's actually this one's probably gonna be a Frankenstein. Because this one has like some weird development right here. And I don't know if that's gonna affect the way that it forms later, but we'll see. You can see it's turning kind of purple up there. So yeah, I have that end in the water. So you wanna make sure that you stick this end in. And I'll show you with the camera. Okay. So most of these I have like way too deep. I don't have to have them that deep. It just really doesn't matter. The only reason you don't want to put them in too deep is because the more organic matter that is in the water is gonna increase the chance of causing mold or fungus or whatever. So what you want to do is you want to watch the water and try to replace the water. I mean, if you can every day, go ahead, but you probably don't have to do it every day. Like this water was just barely turning a different color today, and I've had it in there for 2 days now. But yeah, you just replace it with fresh water. If you can use distilled water, it'll help a little bit with keeping the fungus or mold down. Let's see, what else would you want to do? Oh yeah, so you just want to make sure you have your mango. Actually tastes really good. And I'll just do a little recap of the seed. It'll only open from one side. You could probably make it open from this side, but it's a lot harder. But this one side will always have vulnerability for you to be able to split it open like a clam or an oyster. And you could basically pull it open. You don't have to shave all this stuff off. If you can find this end and get into it, then you can skip all that and just pull it open and get the seed out, and the seed will be dry and ready to go. Like I said, this outer shell right here, once it absorbs moisture or dries out, it'll be easier to take off. I did that actually today with this one. This one had a shell on it. I just took it off right before this video. This one was a different story. I don't know what's up with it. Like, you could scrape all this off, but I just really didn't bother. I just chanced that, you know, it would create fungus or mold, and I don't really care because I'm just gonna change the water multiple times a day. Or not multiple times a day, but multiple times a week. So there you go, and I'll show you a recap. Not a recap, but I'll show you a follow-up of if these seeds root, how they're growing. It's gonna be a long series. So if you would, just follow and subscribe and just like the video. And eventually I'll get a better camera and microphone and all that.